You're watching the Cowboys Report. I am Tom Downey. It is a mailbag. You know the drill, right? You have the questions, and we have the answers here at the Cowboys Report for all things Cowboys related. We will begin with some super thanks, by the way, that came in previously from Bohanna94. Tom, first off, love the show. Here's an idea. Sign OBJ now while he continues to heal. He could be learning the playbook. Thoughts? This is the ideal outcome, right? You sign him, you add him to the roster. You can put him on IR for 4 games, although got to pass physicals. That's a bit complicated from that standpoint, so it's probably not the route you end up going. But in an ideal world, right, you sign him, learns the playbook, gets healthy, hits the ground rolling. The issue you run into is it requires Odell Beckham to want to do that. He could have done that in October and been getting paid. He is not in any major rush. He wants to get healthy and create a bit of a bidding war and go to the right spot for him. So I think you got to have 2 parties that interested in signing at the moment. I think teams have been interested. Odell Beckham hasn't been, but that will change in the very near future. Now, you might have seen the super thanks before, but if not, here's what it is. YouTube has added super thanks. You can donate outside of live videos. Click the thanks icon, edit your message. We appreciate your support here at the Dallas Cowboys Report. Every super thanks you submit, we will give you a shout out, no matter how small or how large it ends up being. And speaking of, a $50 super thanks from William Reynolds. Thanks with a lot of the Cowboys communities. You and Jeremy, Philly's Jester. It's the best because you keep it real. To the group how you and Jeremy came to be, and it kind of got cut off there, but I'll double check it here on my own because I have it there. And how the Cowboys became my team. So we'll get to Jeremy in a little bit here. I've been a Cowboys fan for as long as I can remember, despite growing up in places like Pittsburgh, actually, and Ohio. We have the photos, though, from when I was a very, very tiny little person. Me in the Cowboys shirt and the Cowboys helmet, and then also me asleep in a Cowboys helmet, because apparently it is a Bengals pillow behind me because my family's all Bengals fans. You might think that's a Packers pillow or blanket. It is not. It's a blanket of every NFL team. So that's what that is there. That's the Cowboys helmet as well, because I could apparently sleep wherever I wanted to. As a kid, I liked the Cowboys helmet the most. I had like all the little plastic helmets. I'd pick who I think would win each week. Cowboys one was my favorite. Boom, Cowboys fan growing up. Jeremy, take it away.
I've been an Eagles fan since I was a little kid too. Proof right here. This is my bar mitzvah party. It was a sports-themed party. And check out your boy's jersey. I look pretty fly in that picture, not going to lie. That's like a...
Say the line.
In the club. I'm in the club. Say what line?
Pretty fly for a white guy.
I'm pretty fly for a white guy.
There you go.
And here's me and my older brother, Texans fan. I mean...
Is that a Brian Cushing jersey?
That's Jamie Sharper.
Okay.
You remember Jamie Sharper.
That's a bold one to pick. I can't tell whose jersey that is for Philly, but I like it there. So that's how Jeremy became an Eagles fan. I became a Cowboys fan. We want to hear from you guys now. How many years have you been a Cowboys fan? For life is also a very reasonable answer from that standpoint. So let me know in the comments how many years you guys have been a Cowboys fan. It's actually the pinned comment on today's show. So if the ad break comes here on YouTube, take advantage of it. Head down there and let me know. From Ellis Rosinko, I think I got that last name right. If not, I'm sorry. Do you start Tyron Smith when he returns over Tyler Smith? I just put Tyler Smith back at left guard, and I plugged Tyron Smith in at left tackle. I've been pleased, satisfied with the way Tyler Smith has played. He hasn't played as good as prime Tyron Smith or what Smith was last year, but that guy's a Hall of Famer. So put him in at left guard. You can bench McGovern, make him bring back that Hulk package if you want, or give him a chance at center or whatever. Get your best 5 out there. Healthy Tyron Smith at left tackle, Tyler Smith at left guard, I think is your best 5. We had a $50 super chat from Jay Elam, by the way. He says, Jeremy, Cowboys fans are real. Tom, slap Jeremy to prove it. How about this, Jay Elam? At the end of this particular mailbag section, we'll slap producer Jeremy in the face here. So, Jay, thank you very much for the 50-piece. We'll do shots later on as well, and then we'll slap Jeremy at the end of today's video. So make sure you watch all the way until the end. Corey Childs, Cowboys hiring Sean Payton next year, man. We'll see. Carolina will have interest. The Colts will have interest. Everyone has interest. Are they going to move a first-round pick for him or picks, whatever it is? We'll see. The Sean Payton stuff is sidelined because the Cowboys have done a good job so far. They don't need to go be in the head coach market. McCarthy's done a really good job. If they go one and done in the postseason, those will come roaring back at that point. From Danny Whitney. The photo is an interesting one there. I appreciate it. I think. Way to phrase that. What's our record going into the Eagles game? So the Eagles, before we play the Eagles, you have the Packers, Vikings, Giants, Colts, Texans, and Jags. You should really lose no more than one or two of those football games. Then you wrap up with Eagles, Titans, Commanders, which by the Commanders game you may not be playing for much, even seeding-wise. The Vikings game has word. It's a road game. Tough back-to-back road games. Giants come home. I think you should have 3 losses going to the Philadelphia game, and you're hoping the Eagles have probably 1 or 2 at that point as well. Today's show helped out by by our sportsbook partner, BetUS. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125 gets you 125% deposit bonus. And because the Cowboys are winning football games, the BetUS jersey deal is back. Here's how you can get one. Chatsports.com/bet. Promo code Cowboys125. $100 down gets you the deposit bonus. And we will send you a Cowboys jersey. Simply email us jersey@chatsports.com if you want in on this deal. That is jersey@chatsports.com. There are no more Micahs. Those are actually out of stock right now. But Dak Prescott, Ezekiel Elliott, and CeeDee Lamb are available in both styles. We just showed you the Color Rush and the Navy. If you want that, one on the deal, just email us. We'll need your BetUS account number, screenshot of your first bet, shipping, name, address. Just email us jersey@chatsports.com if you want in on this limited time offer. From Roy Williams, do you believe the Cowboys are all in on OBJ? Because if CeeDee or Gallup gets hurt, Washington's our next man up. That's not great. It might not be that it's James Washington. It might be Tolbert next man up, which is also not great. I don't know if they are all in. I know they're interested. This team has not been all in on a player in a long time. That's not how they do business in free agency. So there's interest at the right cost in the end for them. From Vince, the Cowboys have a top 5 team in the NFL without being aggressive. They went 4-1 without Dak. I think Stephen Jones deserves way more credit. I think Mike McCarthy should get a lot more credit. We were all panicked that the team was going to fall apart with Cooper Rush at the helm. They've done a good job, but that's also my point. Like, you are in a window. The NFC's wide open. You tried to be more aggressive at the deadline. Yes, you're winning these regular season games, but the point of being aggressive was to boost your playoff chances. God forbid, knock on wood, the Cowboys go 1-done again in the postseason. Right back where we started with, if you tried harder, maybe you would have had a better chance of winning a game or two in the postseason. Scott Romero, is Kelvin Joseph going to do anything? He's helped on special teams. He's actually been good in that area. But if that's the first thing I say about your second-round pick, that's not a good sign. He's not done much this year on defense. He flashed a bit last year. He's had some penalties, got beat for a big play, at least allowed it, I should say. He didn't get cooked, but he's got some Chidobe Awuzie syndrome there. I think next offseason, corner's going to be a big area of concern for you. I doubt Anthony Brown is back. Jordan Lewis, you might cut. Let Deron Bland be your nickel. Opens a big hole at cornerback too, though. So, for his career, whether it's, 3 weeks from now, next year, 2 years from now, will Kelvin Joseph become a starter and stay a starter for this Cowboys team? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section. Patrick Hickman, are you worried Aaron Rodgers will beat the Cowboys again? The Aaron Rodgers trauma the Cowboys fans have suffered is understandable. Now, it's not quite the level of trauma the Bears fans have suffered, but Rodgers has done time and time again a fantastic job against the Cowboys. This year, though, feels different. The Packers are a bit of a mess at this point. From Kobe, will Dallas at least make the divisional this year? I hope so. That might not be enough to save Mike's job, by the way. He might want to go championship game there. The NFC's wide open. The Eagles are a good team. but you can beat them if you play well. I mean, you lost by 2 scores and you threw 3 interceptions. You can beat them. The Vikings not played a full game of football yet this year. Your normal contenders, the Packers, the Bucks, are down. Now, you might have to go through a gauntlet to get to the championship game. You might have to draw the Bucks on the road in week 1 or in the first playoff game. That's not a fun matchup. But, yeah, you can make a run this year, and that should be your mindset that you can. If you want to join our award-winning mailbags, award that's coming from my mom, hit that subscribe button right now, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Free videos, live shows like this one where we get our mailbag questions. So sub if you haven't already. From Justin, I think after Pollard's last performance to become the lead back, we've talked about this last week. Lead back from a snap count perspective, it's probably still going to be Zeke. Lead back from a production standpoint, it's been Pollard. Lead back from a touches standpoint, probably ebb and flow each game. I do think you should keep bumping up Pollard's snap counts just a little bit per game. Like, the thing that annoys me is and it's not fair, but the anti-Pollard argument is, he was tired and that he had to check out. I'm like, he just ran 50 yards and scored. That's fine. I've seen Zeke after a 6-yard run say you need a breather. That's how NFL running backs work. Like, they're not playing 100% of the snaps. That's not how NFL teams do it. So I think he can handle more than 30. I think he can. But the Cowboys don't think that, and they haven't given him the chance to. $5, Abja Parwar. Cowboys need to be aggressive and explosive against the Packers and not be conservative. Packers game could be a trap game. I don't think this is a trap game. It's the Mike McCarthy revenge game. He wants this one. I don't think it falls into the trap game category. Now, the Colts and Texans and Jags in December, those are trap games. But I think because it is the Packers, we've thought they've been good for a while. You've had extra prep time. I don't think it's a trap game for Dallas. Funny enough, the Packers did not make this biggest non-Philly NFC threat weigh-in. These are your next 4 playoff teams. The Giants, the Vikings, the Bucks, and the Seahawks. The Niners have like a 2.5 game lead, or whatever it is, a 1.5 game lead, over the Packers and the wild card. They're not even on there. Of the non-Eagles teams, who's the biggest threat for you? G for the Giants, V for the Vikings, B for the Bucks, and S for the Seahawks. Texas T, Chugs. How do you think that if the Eagles, who can barely beat a backup QB with 3 picks, that they compete with when Dak's healthy? #Cowboys. Jeremy, keep it short, but you can answer since he addressed it to you.
I think it's the best thing that Cooper Rush came in for the Cowboys because, before he came in, the offense was stale, stagnant, did not look good for Dak to start the season. Rush comes in, he rights the ship, maybe a little bit more of a skilled quarterback than Dak.
No.
Taking the Cowboys, he did as far as he could. Obviously, he hit a way better team than the Cowboys and the Philadelphia Eagles, which halted him. Now that Dak's back, the offense is doing a little bit better because they had time to kind of retract their steps, kind of go back over, this vanilla offense and kind of add in some trinkets here and there for Dak. The team's a little bit better now than pre-Dak injury, now post-Dak injury. But, either way, the Eagles would have won, in my opinion.
I think if they don't throw 3 interceptions, they very well might have won that game still. Also, he's not more skilled than Dak. Come on, Jeremy. All right, next question from MVP. Didn't give me that time. I'm not 100% convinced on Dalton Schultz. Should we address that in spot or leave it as is? Right now, as is. There's nobody out there you're going to get that's better. Off season, I don't think I want to pay Dalton Schultz $10 million, $12 million. That's a lot of money for a tight end who is good, but not great or game-changing from that standpoint. All right, from Juan Ramos, he means Rashee Rice. I'm pretty sure you mean Rashee Rice out of SMU. At least that's who I'm thinking of. Not out of Houston. I'm not familiar with I'm going to answer that as Rashee Rice. That is the wide receiver for SMU. He has been balling this year. Under the radar player, I think, to a certain extent. He's a senior, good size, 6'2", has had a very productive already over 1,000 yards. It's a good name probably on day 2 to consider for the Cowboys. As promised, it is slap time. Thanks to the big $50 super chat from Jay Elam. Tortilla slaps for producer Jeremy. Any final words, Chugs?
Go Eagles.
we go. Subscribe, youtube.com/@CowboysTV. Didn't break the tortilla at that time. That was pretty good. Oh, actually, it started to crack a little bit. Now I broke it a little bit. You can follow me on Twitter @WhatGoingDowney. Perhaps I'll clip the slap as well. Go follow me @WhatGoingDowney.